when freedom hangs in the balance. One voice refuses to be silenced. From the front lines of the information war, standing with patriots across this great nation. This is where the truth fights back. Welcome to the James Justice Show!
Heavenly Father, give us courage when it's dark and wisdom when things get tough. Help us stand up for what's right, protect others, and take care of the country we love. Keep us strong, together, and with you. Amen! Fight, fight, fight!
To the James Justice Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, today is August 4th, 2026. I am your host, James Justice. We're going to be here for the next hour, ripping through these airwaves. So, let's go! Welcome back to the most patriotic venue in all the land, the America First Warehouse. Make sure you go to the website, theamericafirstwarehouse.com. We have a lot of special events coming up in the near future, and you're going to want to check them out. So go there. So hope everybody's having a good beginning of the week. What a crazy clown show we have going on in the news. It is absolutely crazy. This episode, we're going to hone in on Dr. Fauci, right? Dr. Fauci is one of the biggest rat-lying, disgusting individuals that you could ever meet in your life, and some of the things he's did, throughout his career, we're going to dive into. So let's pull this up real quick. Everybody knows that he just showed up in Congress and pled the fifth 111 times. 111 times. Didn't answer one question. Nothing. He was being asked all types of stuff. Well, what color is the carpet on the floor? And just nothing. The same repetitive answer all the time. And even with a pardon, he's like, I'm still not answering questions. Supposedly your pardon's effective, but the lawyer's advice, just in case the pardon ends up not being effective, which I think is going to happen because this whole auto pen thing is unconstitutional. It never said in the Constitution that you're allowed to just duplicate a signature and stamp it on whatever you want. So he might be facing some real problems in the future. But as of right now, we're playing it out like the pardon does have some type of weight, and we're going to be charging him outside of this whole thing. So Florida, Ron DeSantis and the government of Florida are trying to get Dr. Fauci on the charges that he deserves to be charged with, which is like, crimes against humanity, criminal negligence, medical homicide, and all these other crazy charges that I think needs to happen. And, once that starts rolling in, I think other states are going to pick up because the families of the deceased people through COVID and these experimental gene therapies that they rolled out, that we all want an answer. I know the answers, but the public doesn't know the answer, right? They deserve to have answers over their dead loved ones. And Dr. Fauci's been up to this stuff for a long time. And let's go back to the past a little bit and see what he was up to. I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but he was involved with the whole AIDS epidemic. And when that was going on, there were whistleblower doctors back then trying to raise the alarm and say, hey, listen, something's not right here and yada, yada, yada. But, I don't want you to hear it from me. I always come with the proof. So let's roll this clip real quick.
Horrible scandal and scam ever perpetrated, not only in the name of science, but in humanity and in all history. Today is December 7th. And I was 12 years old when the attack on Pearl Harbor came, and I remember World War II very well. And it's a very significant day today because I see an incredible parallel between what is going on in the so-called AIDS epidemic and what happened in the years preceding and resulting in World War II. The great lie of Hitler. It's amazing. I think he would envy the job being done by members of the National Institutes of Health and even the media, especially in this country.
Yep.
I charge the media with part of the responsibility and a very significant one, in a current Holocaust that can end up being worse than the one that occurred during World War II. When it was first announced that Dr. Robert Gallo had found the virus that probably caused AIDS, and that announcement was made with Margaret Heckler in 1984 to the press and to the media, without one single scientific document appearing in any journal in the United States.
That still goes on
And
today.
as we know now, without any proof whatsoever that the virus caused any disease. The media picked up on it for the sake of a story. And soon the virus that probably caused AIDS was now the virus that caused AIDS. It was proven in the press and nowhere else. And I will put the lie to the individuals of the NIH, particularly Gallo and Fauci and Hazeltine and Essex and the rest of these scoundrels of the worst order. Criminals guilty of genocide, without a doubt. I invite them to take me to court. I wish Burroughs Wellcome would take me to court, because they have been putting out a killer drug knowingly. The liars and killers like Fauci and Gallo and Hazeltine and Essex and Flossie von Stahl.
Look up the names.
And the Margaret Fischels. These people are getting by with the lie and getting paid immense sums of money for it and praise from the rest of the world while they murder.
Yeah. So that's exactly what's going on, and it's still going on to this day. Fauci's still playing the same position he was all the way up until coronavirus, and now the public is on his ass. And, you know, don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going. You owe it to your deceased members of your family and your children, right? We have to protect their future while you're still alive and breathing. Hopefully a lot of you didn't take the hokey pokey, or up to like 3 or 4 of them, because, you know, we tried to warn you. I mean, I hate to sound cold about it, but, you know, we're at a point now where we've been spitting out this information and stuff to save people's lives for years and years and years, and still people don't listen. Like, you can look up the track record. It's crazy. So check this out, right? And while Fauci was in control and the U.S. government was running amok with this whole medical advice thing from the World Health Organization and all these other foreign puppets that we have running the show, there were people dead serious putting out songs and looking at Fauci as a savior. Roll it. This is serious, too. This isn't even AI.
Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines. Help all the people who have been quarantined.
Oh my
We'll
God.
wear our masks and we'll have to stay distant. We'll wash our hands and we'll be more resistant. Fauci, yes? Promise
Yeah, I
us,
swear to God, man, these
please.
kids would not make
We'll
it
have
through
a
high
cure
school
that can
in
fight
my
off
time.
this disease.
When we were in high school,
Restrictions will
Just
lift
the voice
with
alone.
some ease. Dr. Fauci, don't forget me.
all right, cut that off. That's what we were dealing with the psychosis going on under COVID. People completely lost their minds. They were looking at people and idling them as, you know, their saviors, and, you know, don't go outside. There's a really good clip of Jim Brewer that completely trashed the whole vaccine narrative and COVID-19, and he made a mockery of it as his show, and it was absolutely hilarious. Go look up Jim Brewer, COVID-19, and it's pretty crazy. Do we have enough time to run the next asset number 3? All right. So we'll hold over into the next one. But, yeah, so Dr. Fauci has been up to this stuff for decades and decades and decades, right? And a lot of the times the FDA, the CDC, the rest of these organizations that are in charge of keeping our health and the things that we're like, oh yeah, they're going to look out for our vested interests, like the FDA, to not poison you in a supermarket. Once upon a time, these organizations held weight and they were true to their word and they took their job serious. And then came the lobbyists from, Monsanto and all these other companies that infiltrated these grassroots organizations that started and companies and infiltrated them. And I have stories about Monsanto, right? If you don't know what Monsanto is, Monsanto had to do with Agent Orange back in the day, right? Where all the people with the birth defects in Vietnam and ears growing out of the middle of your forehead, that type of stuff. So they were using that, and they came under scrutiny because they started genetically modifying the seeds in the country. They had all these seeds that they took, changed the DNA of it, and they were mixing tomatoes with fish DNA inside the DNA of a tomato, right? Because they didn't want the tomatoes to go bad under colder conditions, and they wanted them to keep growing so they can maximize the profits. God knows what that does to us after we ingest it, and we don't know how that DNA compares with us because we interact with everything we eat, and that's just, basics. But so Monsanto was a really bad company, and they hijacked all this stuff. So the FDA slowly started taking on members of Monsanto into their positions in our government, and then overseeing the food process. So if you see that where this is going, you could just imagine what they did when they had the CEOs of Monsanto swap over into the FDA and then run our FDA for 4 years, and then hire all their people to get into lower positions, and before you know it, our entire market is saturated with poison, right? That's what they've been doing. They slowly snuck it in. They set the loads higher in the food amounts that would be deemed safe, right? They just, just raise the bar. Don't worry about it. Just raise the bar. The same way they did with mercury in vaccines with the thimerosal, right? Oh yeah, don't worry. It's a preservative. Nothing to see here. And, there's still a lot to be uncovered with all this stuff because all of our organizations have been hijacked for a long, long, long time. And seeing Dr. Fauci get grilled, and we're going to break into some other news about some of his staff members later on in the episode. But we're tired of this stuff. If it wasn't for the internet, the American people would know nothing, right? We'd still be listening to the radio and believing whatever the hell mainstream media said because that was the only source of information that we had. We have the internet now. We have the capability to look things up, figure out what the hell's going on, and put the pieces together in live time. And you could go all the way down the rabbit hole as deep as you can, and it doesn't stop. So I suggest you start utilizing technology for what it is to destroy these people before they destroy us. And we'll be back on the other side in a minute.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land. I've been there, I looked, I tried to see. Here I am in New York City, watching a nice sunrise. Not really. I'm in the warehouse. I'm telling you about a conservative organization, not the AARP loser, left wing, forget about it. This is where you need to be. You get everything conservative menus. America.us/TAFW.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just two entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent. But the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW. Making travel great again. Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
What's up, everybody? We are back. Welcome back to the James Justice Show. So let's go right back into Fauci, and we're gonna run a clip real quick. And these are some crazy stories, man. Just listen to this; it's gonna blow your mind. This is a report I did a little while ago.
Tony Fauci made sure that none of those kids had guardians, which is illegal. And then he hid what he was doing from the boards. He took foster homes in 6 states and he turned them over to the pharmaceutical industry. He made sure that the people who were running those foster homes did not even have medical training. Most of them were immigrants who came from the Dominican Republic. They knew nothing about medicine or responsibilities, and they were sickened when they realized slowly what they were involved in doing to these children, that they were torturing these children. And you know, there's videos of these children, an old BBC documentary that will make you cry. I promise you cannot look at these without weeping. One of these kids, a 12-year-old who's trying to protect the 8-year-old, and he has a tube in his stomach. And he's telling them, I tried to fight them, and this is what they do if you fight them. You can't fight them. You need to just take the drugs. And the kids didn't want to take them because the drugs were making them horribly sick. And Celia Farber, who's this amazing researcher who worked on this chapter for me and did a lot of the original research on it, she actually went up to Hawthorne, New York, to the Gates of Heaven Cemetery. She found the cemetery where Fauci was disposing of the corpses of these children who died in his illegal experiments. She found an open pit. It was actually covered by an astroturf carpet.
Disgusting.
She opened the astroturf carpet and she saw hundreds and hundreds of tiny little coffins stacked haphazardly upon each other, because these are children who have no parents and nobody was there to protect them. And Tony Fauci treated them as collateral damage. And, his objective was to enlarge the markets for these pharmaceutical companies who he had partnered with by allowing HIV, these toxic chemotherapy drugs, to be given to children. And then the next experiments, which are in the next chapter, which are equally horrendous, is his experiments on Africa.
Yeah. You can cut that off. So this guy has been doing disgusting experiments. That doesn't even mention, hey, if you're an animal lover out there, all right, you got to look up what Anthony Fauci was doing with the beagles. Look that up, and it's going to turn your stomach and enrage you, because I'm an animal lover myself. And when you really find out the truth of what the hell was going on and what this guy was funding through his organization, it's crazy. It's crazy. So during COVID, that got me onto the idea of, like, you know what? If Dr. Fauci's in charge of all this stuff, let me throw in a FOIA request. Pull this up real quick. Let me throw in a FOIA request and see exactly what's going on. I'll pull this guy's emails and see what's up. So if you zoom into the top of the document, you'll see it says Mr. Justice on there. And yeah, so that's me. That's my case number or whatever. But I specifically wanted to search a certain 2-month span of emails. So I got from January 1st to like the end of March. And when I started sifting through these emails, I came across something that just blew my mind, right? Blew my mind. If you want to read the article, you could zoom in or whatever. But so go to the next image real quick. So this was a page out of one of the findings I got. And right there at the top, it says, from Adam Gartner to Dr. Fauci, right? March 11th, 2020. And then the subject of the email was coronavirus bioweapon production method. And I was like, whoa, what the hell is this? Right? So then I scroll down a little bit. It says, hello, Anthony. Here's how the virus was created. And it has this chain of ingredients that at the time I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy, right? So I was going through the emails, and Fauci never responded to him. He just ignored these emails. And this other guy, investigator, was trying to warn him, like, listen, man, like this could be serious if you don't take the right precautions. I'm just trying to like warn you, acknowledge that I'm trying to send you this, and still nothing, but whatever. So it turns out that the guy in this email, because I go deep. I don't really care. I found this guy, and I reached out to him, and I've been in correspondence with him for the past, I don't know, maybe year or two. And he's actually going to come on next week, and we're going to go through some of his thoughts on Fauci and what's going on with some of the things in the government and what happened with COVID specifically. But yeah, this is just proven right here that I talked to him, because I don't talk out of my booty hole. I always come with the facts, with the proof, and I'll never sugarcoat anything. You're going to get it raw, news with balls, James Justice. That's what I do. So let's go to, what do we got now? All right, so here's some good news, right? So everybody's looking for accountability. Pull this image up. Clown face, sad mug. All you need is a red nose on your face. You look like the sad clown. Anyway, that's one of Fauci's advisors right there. It's one of the top guys, the big dogs, and he is getting indicted on corruption charges. So listen to this, right? This is crazy. This guy's falsifying records, the coronavirus fraud, everything that took place, lying on under oath and all this other stuff. So he's going to be on the chopping block, which is good to see. So if he gets indicted, he might just spill the beans on the rest of these clowns, Birx and the rest of the coronavirus task force team that was assembled with a bunch of clowns over there. They didn't care about any of us. They just wanted to depopulate the public. And that was, Bill Gates talking about that on TED Talks. If we just, we could alleviate 15% of the population if we do a really good job with vaccines. I think by now everybody heard the clip. But if you haven't, look it up. Bill Gates, depopulation, TED Talks. It's easy. We've been doing this for a long time. So while all of this stuff with COVID was going on, I want to show you a video that should turn your stomach, because they lied to everybody. They scared the hell out of people to where they didn't want to go to hospitals, and the hospitals were empty. The entire time they were like, oh, there's war zones going on. There's just bodies everywhere. It was all bullshit. There's videos to prove it. People were walking through hospitals showing the empty facilities. They shut down all the elective surgeries. And you want to know why? Somehow there were professional cameras running around the entire country taking videos of these. Oh, wait. What were they called? Oh, yeah. The heroes. These were our heroes. Roll it. This is disgusting right here. Supposedly everybody's dying, and you have all these people bopping around and coming up with routines. Enough time to come up with a routine for like 40 freaking nurses and doctors. Right? Fire department involved in this. Yo, this is pure, sickening. It's crazy. All right, so put it like this. You're around all this death in the first place, and this is all you're seeing every day. People dying, family members all effed up, right? And you still have it in you to just, hey, let's go dance. Let's go dance. That'll cheer up me and all the people after seeing, all these people dying in a hospital. I don't think that happened like that, right? I don't think so. And there's a lot of people out there that know that's not how it happened. And they were just murdering people left and right with the crazy protocols that they came up with. Dr. Fauci's involved with that 100%, because he was giving out the mask recommendations. He was giving out the 6 feet social distancing, which all of it made no sense. It was like an occult thing where you're not allowed to touch anybody. You have to be terrified if another human comes up to you, when it's only natural that humans want to hug each other and be friendly and talk and be compassionate and have a relationship with whoever's around us, because that's what humans are, right? We connect. But they didn't want that connection whatsoever. They were trying to draw it off. They had the children in elementary school breathing in their own toxic breath for 6 hours a day, and the parents just sat by and said, hey, what am I going to do? It's the government. Yo, listen, man. That right there should have been the test for all Americans of what not to do under government recommendations. Because when you start overlapping common sense and what actually like feels, does walking one way down a aisle, does that feel like saving my life? No, nobody can agree with that. Everybody agrees that walking down a one-way aisle in a supermarket feels ridiculous. Logically, it's stupid, and everybody participated, right? I didn't. My daughter didn't. I encouraged as many people as I could. Like all my people that I surround myself with, the warriors of the society that we live in today, we didn't comply with that shit. We were outside burning our masks, right? And most of the people never even put a mask on. They were walking through supermarkets. Nope, kick rocks. I'm not wearing it. Bye. And they really couldn't do anything because there were no laws on the books to arrest anybody, even though some arrests did happen, right? But they were tossed out of court later on. But, that's the craziness we had to go through under COVID, and we should never have to repeat that again, because I think now people have more common sense after hugging their grandmothers through shower curtains and, plastic barriers that went up at restaurants and all these other places. Meanwhile, as you're going to pay, all you see on the plastic barrier is the spit from about 10,000 people that walked in before you. It's disgusting. It made no sense, but, what are you going to do? Listen to the people that have the tinfoil hats. I'm telling you, we get these little transmissions, and somehow we're always right. Always right, no matter what the conspiracy theory is, whether it was, they're spraying us with chemtrails. Hey, guess what? It was real, Like everything that we ever said, our history, we were lied to. Yep, guess we were lied to. Like the symbolism, the secret societies, it's a conspiracy theory, yet Skull and Bones still operates out of Yale, out of their little building called the Tomb. How does that work, right? It's still going on, it's still here, and it's up to us to finally get some sanity back in this nation, and we need God and we need Jesus, and that's what the founding principles. I put a post out today talking about it. The founding principles of this nation was Christianity. It was nothing else. It wasn't Hinduism. It wasn't Judaism. It wasn't the Quran. It was none of that stuff. It was Jesus Christ and Christianity, and that was the land we carved out for our own Christian people to seek refuge and come here and be able to worship God the way that we were supposed to without any further interruptions by a king or anybody else that was going to come here, right? We won the war. We should be able to keep what we have. But we have some soft-ass Americans these days that don't want to stand up and participate in the Second American Revolution, and we're going to jump back into that on the other side. I'll be back.
Me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic place in all the land. Hey, I'm here getting cleansed up. You know why? Because Sugar Creek Goods is a great place by patriots, making patriot soaps, making me smell nice. And that's what's nice. Who wants to go down the street and smell of somebody bad in New York City? Hey, by the way, what's this thing for?
250 years ago, a nation was born. Built on courage, driven by freedom, defined by patriots who stood their ground. Today, we don't just remember that legacy, we wear it. This is more than a shirt. It's a symbol of strength, freedom, and pride. I'm Steve Stern, COO of theflagshirt.com, and I invite you to celebrate 250 years of the United States with us. Wear your pride, stand for something, get your shirts today.
You know what is more disappointing than Gino Bisconte, everyone?
My sex life?
No, bad cell service. Let's make fun of Gino. Oh wait, he's here.
Well, speaking of the opposite of his sex life, these people have towers that are huge and they're everywhere. And while you're traveling, you can use these huge towers, patriotmobile.com/ it bends to the right. I don't have to tell you. TAFW. And then you can talk about me behind my back.
Patriotic people doing patriotic things.
Today is a good day to be free.
tonight. Summer special, America 250 is off the hook.
It's me, Joe the Box.
And I'm John the Blanket with the America First podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fred Rubino podcast coming to you from the America First Warehouse.
Welcome, everybody, to the James Justice Show, tearing these airwaves apart with all the craziness that goes on in the world.
Welcome to the Patriots podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First Warehouse in Long Island, New York.
Shane Jenkins here with another episode of Liberty's Cage.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Red, Right, and True.
We are streaming live on America First Media and Television app.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free.
The America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
All right. Welcome back to segment 3 of the James Justice Show. Make sure you're sharing this out so we can defeat these algorithms. They're a pain in my ass and a pain in the network's ass. Share. That's all I'm telling you to do. You have to do it because we don't have much time left. The midterms are coming, and we got to come in strong, come in hot, and put the fire behind these politicians' asses to get them to move in the way of the American people. So with that, let's get back into some craziness. So we got a transgender TV host arrested for child crimes. Pull this image up. This is absolutely crazy right here, right? So reality TV personalities and television host Sydney Starr, who is publicly known as a transgender woman, if you could say that, was arrested in Hatfield, Georgia on multiple felony charges involving an alleged incident with a minor. According to police records, the charges include aggravated child molestation, sexual battery involving a child under 16, and sodomy. Authorities have released a few details because the case involves a juvenile. Starr has publicly denied the allegations and said that they're going to go through the legal process. As of now, the charges are allegations and no conviction has been reached. But how many times, if the shoe fits, how many of these weird drag queen goblins get caught up in these pedophile stings and get arrested for having child porn or whatever the hell it is? Dude, it's very, very, very frequent, and there's a lot of those people involved in that community. So as far as I'm concerned, right, if you're not like a classical like gay person, right, that's like an 80s, 70s gay person where you're not like flaming out the window and everybody's got to know and whatever. Dude, I respect that. But if you're walking around with your balls out and a pair of chaps, we don't rock with that. Society doesn't want that. That's not anything Christian. That's not morality. We're tired of seeing it. Take that, bring it back to the closet, like I always say, and keep it there. We want nothing to do with that. So let's get off that subject because that always freaks me out with these goblins, man. They're the weirdest people I've ever seen in my life. And hey, coppers, if you want to come lock me up for calling goblins, then come do it, man. I'm waiting for you. But I don't care. Freedom of speech, First Amendment. So, kiss where the sun don't shine. That's how I feel. So on some good news, right? You know how I'm always going on about AI, and we have a battle going on against humanity because, the AI is getting too smart and they're surveilling us on every little aspect that we do. Well, pull this up. So the FCC has blocked all foreign humanoid robots from coming to U.S. soil, which is good. That's a step in the right direction, right? Now, as far as the in-house robots that are going to be deployed, we don't want that either, right? It's good that we don't want the foreign robots because they can get hijacked and they can do whatever we want. And then we got Terminator situations going on where we have to have EMP weapons. Somebody's got to come up with something over there to start frying these T3, whatever the hell robots they got. Well, Elon Musk specifically has the Optimus Gen 3. That's the new one out of him, and that thing's impressive. A couple episodes back, I had videos showing you that thing studied Kung Fu, right? They had like two guys wear a sensor suit and simulate a battle with all these little sensors all over them. And then they took the data from that inside the computer and then uploaded it into the Gen 3 Optimus. And, dude, they put the one human and the robot in a simulated sparring match where the guy's just throwing slow punches and the robot's blocking every punch and then throwing kicks back at it. It's too much, all right? It's too much. We don't need that shit in a robot. We don't need any of that. So maybe let humanity still steer the ship, before the ship goes, autonomous and then drives us into a beach. Come on, man. It's got to be common sense by now. But what the hell? So, all right, let's jump into the humans now. So humanity right now is we're at a crisis, right? Especially here in America. We have a lot of Muslim and Arabic speaking people flooding into this country, and they're outbreeding us. To be flat out, they're outbreeding us. They're having about 7, 8, 9 kids, and the average white person's only having about 1 to 2, maybe 3, right? So in 30 years, it's irreversible, right? So at this point, it's either everybody gets behind Tom Homan and starts getting every single person that's not supposed to be here out of here. And listen, take your kids with you. Bye. See you later. Listen, I love everybody, but when you come here with a different ideology and a different religion, and your religion looks down upon our religion, no, I'm not having it. Roll this next clip. Let's see what's going on here.
This is New York. You about to fuck him up. You ate that ass.
Just a guy walking his dog in New York, and a Muslim couple see him walking his dog, and the guy's about to kick the shit out of him for walking the dog. He violently lashes at his wife, like, get off of me. Look, intimidation. All the guy's trying to do is walk his dog. I'm sure he wasn't bothering nobody. And when you guys see the clip online, he clearly states that, get your dog away from my family. The daughter's trying to hold him back. Yeah, that's crazy. You can cut that off. So that's what we're dealing with in New York now, right? And is that going to become a common thing? Is that? And they got their kids with them. So right there, it goes to show you the morality. Like, you're not supposed to show violence in front of children. You're supposed to protect them and harness them from anything bad going on. And these guys with the wife, he's shoving her off. Get off of me. The daughter's trying to pull his hand back. Come on, Dad, let's go. Nope, not happening. So if that becomes a normal, the daughter's going to grow up thinking that's normal. So when she gets older and she's got some violent guy flailing a machete around, it's going to be, that's what we do. That's what we do. That's not our culture. That's not our culture at all. And if you think that shit's compatible, maybe you should listen to this next guy. Roll it.
Quran chapter number 9, verse number 29. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala orders the Muslims to kill the Christians, Jews, and if they do not surrender, then they have to pay jizya. Jizya is basically protection money. Jizya is a tax. In the time of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him.
May shit be upon him.
And after him, when Islam was spreading and the Muslim government was spreading and the Islamic State was spreading, so wherever there were Jews and Christians and people who were not believers, for them there was a rule that they have to pay this tax. Since in Islam, according to the Islamic rules,
we ain't paying them shit. We're not paying them shit, all right? They're going to get the hell out of our country. And we'll actually, maybe we will pay them for that. We will pay for your flight. We will gladly pay Tom Homan and ICE to round you up, deport your ass, and send you back to whatever the hell hole you came from, because we don't want you here. You're not taking over nothing, all right? You still got to get your guns, and you're under terrorist watch organizations, so I'll watch your ass. Us Americans, we have more guns than we know what to do with, and unlimited ammunition. So if you want to start a war, you're going to be ended up in a big pile real quick. Like what was that? The sandbags in Vietnam, they were stacking them up like sandbags. That's what's going to happen, man. We don't want it. We're peaceful people. But when you try to step on our toes and our Christian nation and acting like you're going to conquer us, it's not going to happen. You're going to fire up the wrong people. We got guys that have been in the woods for 50 years that can sit in a tree for hours and hours and hours and become part of that tree, and you wouldn't even know they were there, and they just jump down and get you, right? We have tons and tons and tons of veterans that would love nothing more than to throw some camo paint on and get back to the action and actually protect the country in-house. So fuck around and find out. That's all I have to say. And you know, we're not paying the tax. We're not doing anything like that. And when I was out this weekend, shout out to Lego Man Productions and the America First Warehouse crew. We went out to Pennsylvania this weekend, and there was a second annual memorial for freedom. Right, a bunch of J6ers came together, and there was a bunch of speakers there. It was a great time. I suggest you go over to the Rumble page, UCNY News. That's my Rumble, and also on Facebook. I put a link up on Facebook. Also on X, you can go over on X at Mr. James Justice and find it over there. But we had a really good time. Great speakers came. It was like a big family coming back together, and a lot of hugs and powerful moments that took place. But while we were coming out of there and heading back home, we stopped at a gas station, and there was a guy with a prayer rug right outside the entrance sitting there doing his little prayers, and I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. A couple months back, I had a bomb chucked over my head in New York City, covering the Stop the Islamification of New York City march with Jake Lang and a couple other people that were hosting it. And yep, Ali Akbar right over my head. So I have a personal thing with this. Like, it's like, yo, we don't want this shit in our country. So I saw this guy in a spray rug, and I always walk around with these little Jesuses on me, right? Because everybody could use a little Jesus. And so I saw the perfect opportunity to get this guy and put a little Jesus as he's in his demonic trance going up and down on his carpet. I said, you know what? Let me put Jesus so when he comes out of his demonic trance, that's the first thing he sees staring at him on his carpet. And that's what I did. Roll this clip so I have proof. I always got to back my stuff up with, you know, something. Roll the clip, boys.
All right, guys, we're outside the gas station right now. We got a guy doing his prayers. I just put a little Jesus on the ground.
Go ahead, you're good.
So we're going to see if he notices.
I was trying to be discreet with the camera. But this guy just kept going, man. He was there for like, I don't know, just more time than I wanted to be there, so I left. So maybe he saw it, maybe he didn't. But come on, man. Like, dude, you can't do that at your house, at your church, at your mosque, whatever the hell you got. In the middle of a gas station. I've seen one where we're blocking roads doing this. So you can cut that one off. But it's absolutely crazy, right? It's absolutely crazy. We don't do that. We don't do that. We're not going to block a highway to go pray on a rug. Come on, man. But with that, we're going to close this one out. Always stay safe out there. Keep your head on a swivel because you never know what the hell's going on. And, you know, these crazy times we have, we got to stay protected and protect our family especially. So with that, I'm James Justice. I will see you in the next episode. Make sure you share this out. I love you all. Out of here.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. You know, people at the warehouse are always asking me, Gino, you show up smelling like freedom every day, even though you live in the cesspool that is the socialist New York City. How do you do it? Sugar Creek Goods. Sugar Creek Goods is made by patriots and has a full line of incredible products, including soaps and lotions, and even this that you use for your dog, Patriot Pups. My wife makes me use that. But people, please, get your own. Go to sugarcreekgoods.com/TAFW. See ya.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
Hey, Paul, I was having a pillow fight with Gino's wife.
Me too.
Yeah.
She's
I
not
was
supposed
there.
to stay
I
up that
remember.
late.
I have the video. And now let me tell you, talk about soft. When I think soft pillows, I think of other than Gino's wife, mypillow.com. Because these are the best pillows you're ever going to get. You can go to mypillow.com /TAFW. Go now, get your My Pillow right now.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events, it's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today.
You know, I got to tell you, a lot of my followers are asking, hey, Midnight, where are you getting all that energy from? I say, you want to know the truth? I take about 25 milligrams of Adderall a day. But that eventually ends, and then that's where Agara coffee comes in. I start drinking this stuff, and it boosts my energy. It shoots me right through to the moon. If you're not drinking Agara coffee and you need that extra boost during the middle of the day, I'm telling you right now, get this into your system, and I promise you that it will absolutely take you to a whole nother level. Midnight, I am out. 1, 2, 3. Woo!
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of humility. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
You thought that was the end of the show? Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm back for another 12 minutes, man. So let's go. Let's go. So let's get back to this whole Muslim invasion thing. Years ago, Alex Jones put out a really, really good, it was what he said throughout a bunch of different segments that somebody put together, all the different words he said and what he was talking about, and turned it into a folk song. And then Alex Jones' production team went and filled in the words with images and proof to match what he was talking about. So let's run this. This is a good song right here.
Enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive. Selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin, and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video.
Yep.
I love Satan, so you. I kill my kids.
Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man.
He came, we saw, he died.
She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
There's a guy on the radio who apparently Trump's on his show frequently. He said me and Hillary are demons. Said we smell like sulfur.
You do? Come on, Barry.
I've never seen or smelled any woman like that, ever.
People are telling me she smells.
Who could not notice someone who smelled that bad?
In a room, vampire pot, and goblins are hobbling round coming after us.
Goblins.
My spirit gets close to that evil, and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed.
We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall.
We're gonna stab your wife, your son.
It's crazy, and this is all real events.
We're gonna stab you with a butcher
He had
knife.
blood all over his hands.
And the police chief is gonna say,
We love our Somalis.
we love our Muslims.
Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet. Yeah, so go look that one up, the Alex Jones We Love Our Somalis folk song, and that's exactly what we're going through right now. And we're watching all these other countries just get decimated by these migrant waves, and life is never the same again. You got pickpockets in the middle of France by the Eiffel Tower. You go in there, and all of a sudden your wallet's gone, and now you're stuck out of the country with no papers. So this is what's going on, man. all these countries that have been conquered by the United Nations plan to redistribute all these people into foreign lands, you got to get them out of there. I feel bad for the Irish, the French, the Germans, the Swedish, all of them. All of them. Their entire culture has been dramatically shifted within the course of less than a decade, and it was never supposed to happen like that. And it is, and it's messed up. It's messed up. Every nation and every culture to every country should have their own identity and their own way of life and the way they do things. And, we might not agree with some of the things on the other side of the world or what they do, but what the hell does it affect us? It doesn't, right? We should be focusing on America, America only, and getting all of our homeless people off the streets, not paying for migrants in hotels or shelters or giving them $10,000 a month and scooters and free cards they could pull out cash and grab drugs. And you have to see some of these migrant shelters that we went to and we documented, there's just like 30 guys sitting outside, and one of them on Hillside Avenue in Queens. I forgot the exact location, the name of the town. But in Queens, they had a migrant shelter set up right across the street from a kid's park. And they had to close down the kids' park because the migrants were running around these places all drunk, messed up, high on drugs, and then trying to talk to the kids. So the NYPD had to come and close that off to where no kids can go in there anymore. So it was wasted tax dollars from the residents of Queens that should be able to utilize the park and have their children in a safe environment. And all of a sudden, it's just safety's out the window. And it was right next to a senior citizens center too. There was like all senior citizens homes in the next community right on the fence line. So it's ridiculous. This should have never happened. Joe Biden let this flood of illegals in, and it goes above Joe Biden's head. I know everybody likes to paint the blame. Joe Biden opened up the border, but it's beyond that. It's beyond that. You have these globalist organizations that are trying to basically turn America into a socialist paradise, and then later on implement communism. But it's not the communism through a man, right? It's not somebody that holds a seat in power. It's communism through AI. And that's even scarier because AI doesn't have a conscience. It doesn't care. There's no human connection whatsoever. It's just whatever is mathematically the most convenient, and they don't regard life at all. So if we're going to go into the future and let AI control all this stuff, then it's pretty crazy. So we got to get a grip on this very quickly. Like I said, the midterms are coming, so hold their feet to the fire and implement these plans to protect us against this stuff in the future now, because it's getting rolled out now. So let's talk about New York City and this communist mayor. We got Man Salami. So this guy is a complete hack job, man. I don't even know. See, this is what I don't understand. The Jewish people, there's a lot of Jewish people in Brooklyn, right? There's a lot of Jewish people in Brooklyn. So when Mandami was saying, oh, well, he's on the Palestinian side of the war or whatever, and he doesn't agree, and he bashes Israel and Netanyahu, he's going to arrest him and all this other stuff, right? Riddle me this, Batman. Why would you have Mandami inside the synagogues of the most powerful Jews in New York, in Brooklyn? How does that work? And why did he get a standing ovation from all the Jews inside the synagogue? How does that work, right? So they must have been like, okay, we'll give you the power. So does that mean that the Jewish population of New York, they're siding with communists and they voted to get him in? Because where did those votes come from to push him over the edge, right? There's not enough lefty psychos in New York to get Mandami over the edge. The only way you could do that is with a coordinated vote, and that's the Jewish people, man. There's nobody more in sync, right? Out of all the religions, out of all of them, there's nobody more in sync than the Jewish population, right? The Hasidic Jews and all over Brooklyn, right? Williamsburg. This is how it works. Us, Americans, we get $1, right? And we'll spend that $1. Or we'll get a $10 bill, and we'll be like, we'll go buy something for like $9.80, whatever. the way the Jewish population works, right, inside their communities, and I'm not being anti-Semitic, I don't want to hear that shit, so don't come at me with that, right? In the Jewish communities, the dollar or whatever amount of money that is being spent at one given time circles the hands of about, 10 different businesses within that community. So it's like that. It's just a recycling dollar. Instead of us, we give the money away and it's gone. We don't ever see it again. It's never coming back to us in a circle. There's no loop. There's no loop of friends or businesses or any establishments that'll bring that dollar back around to us. Doesn't exist. So that's how that operates, right? And if Mandami got in with their vote, but then they talk bad about him with all the, media politics and the politicians on, you got Sid Rosenberg running around going, oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. He's like Benjamin Netanyahu's cheerleader, but he doesn't say anything about the Jews giving Mandami the vote. It's always against the opposite side. So I don't get it. I think we need some answers on why they let that happen in the first place. And, maybe Nick Shirley needs to go down there and talk to somebody, or Tyler Oliver, one of those guys. But we need answers into how Mandami got that seat in the first place, because now that he's there, he's getting all his little Democrat socialist friends inside all of the positions in the city council and the Department of Public Works, and it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess, and he's not even done dropping the hammer on New York City yet with these free grocery stores that came out. And now it's going to be a mess, I'm telling you. It's not going to work out. And once New York City falls and turns into Gotham City like it was in Batman, and you have all these strange characters popping up out everywhere and villains, right? Once that happens, they're coming to Long Island. So what I suggest you do now, just in case, let's play the devil's advocate here, and just in case it does happen, I would go get some ammunition. I would go get some firearms. I would go take some shooting classes if you never shot a gun before. Get some the basic essentials on how to survive if something does hit the fan. And that's my recommendation to you, because, New York City, it's only a matter of time before they collapse. If you look at the rent control that he's trying to run now, if you understand how that works, basically the city doesn't let the landlord raise the rent at all, right? So they get locked into this fixed price. Even though the economy and everything gets hyperinflated and things cost more, the landlord can't purchase the products with the amount of money he's getting off of the rents. So you start neglecting some of the things, and the maintenance goes down, and problems start happening, and leaks, and all of a sudden he doesn't have the money to fix it. Then the city comes in and goes, oh, you're a shitty landlord. You're not allowed to run your building anymore. The city's taking it over, and that's the end of that. And, so that's where we're heading. But, as always, make sure you head on over to the AmericaFirstWarehouse.com and get some of our event tickets that are coming up. It's going to be awesome. We have another rally coming up towards the middle of August, where we're going to be doing a flag ceremony for the fallen soldiers of Afghanistan. And with that, I will see you on the next episode. I'm James Justice, out of here.